all police officers should have on them a video camera that records everything that goes on throughout the day. So, for example, if you're just driving around as a cop, you have your dash cam that records everything. This is useful for in case if you need evidence, or in case if there's a suit against you because of a claim of police brutality, it can be used as evidence against you. And we need to extend this further into the practice of having this on all police. Anyone who's a police officer should have on, as part of his uniform, a little camera to observe his entire day. Now, what would we necessarily do with this? Well, with all of the information every day when you time out, you hand in your camera, and everything on its memory is copied over into a large file at the police station. And for I'm doing one of those things where I make up the numbers, for example, so I'm flexible. But I think right now, 3 months it should be stored, and as it expires past 3 months, it will be deleted off that memory. So the reason is because if you are involved in any altercation with a police officer, whether that be you're just pulled over for a traffic stop and given a ticket, or whether that be you have a physical altercation with a police officer, or whether that be you think you actually suffered from police brutality, you should be able to go down to the police station, say, I had this incident occur on this date at this location, and I'm requesting a copy of this. Not necessarily write it down and fill it out and wait for too long, because then that time limit could expire while you're waiting. But you should just be able to go down and talk to the receptionist and say, hey, da-da-da-da-da, this was when it happened, this is where it was, da-da-da, can you give me a copy of that? I would like a copy. And they should be able to say, okay, let me figure out which cop it was that was on the beat. Oh, he was here that day, so it was probably this guy. Is this you? Yes, that's me. Okay, what time from what time would you like? Just from whatever time to whatever time, or you can just say, like, whenever I come into the shot and whenever I'm finally gone. And they'll clip it out for you, give you a copy, either email it to you, or give you a hard copy on like a disc or a flash drive or something like that. Probably email would be the cheaper way, so I would suggest we do that, but then it gets into the issue of, like, can we email full length videos and stuff like that? How big of a file can we do? But I'm sure there's some way we could compress it, so technically I'm sure we could figure that out somehow. But regardless, that way I think this would make police feel a lot more accountable, because don't get me wrong, just because I talk about police brutality, most police are fantastic, and I know I've been in touch with police before, not necessarily always on the wrong end of it, but and I mean, like, I've been one of those good citizens or whatever, good Samaritans who's helping out with the case, who saw something, and most police officers are really nice and really helpful. However, there are the few that are not. So I feel for that minority, that unfortunate minority that seems to persist throughout everywhere, this would be a huge check on them, and it would be easier because in a lot of cases, the police chiefs don't even really know about it, unless if it's brought up to them, and then they find out when it's like, oh my god, there's a huge obvious example of it. If we had these cameras on them all day, and we could observe them, we could also have somebody within the police department routinely randomly check a random day's work for every officer and make sure that he's abiding by the law himself. This would be a much better way than just like, oh, whenever there's an incident, we'll check it ourselves. Because, I mean, come on. We're going to police ourselves internally just based off of a random complaint. That seems kind of strange. But we should have all this data uploaded somewhere, or not only copied and stored at the police station, but also uploaded to a national database where it's randomly checked by a few people. Random chunks of the day are checked randomly, and then if they see something that is in conflict or is a misconduct by the police officer, they will send a notification to the place wherever it came from. And most people say, oh, well, this is Big Brother coming in, you're New World Order, want cameras everywhere. I definitely don't want cameras everywhere because I'm not New World Order. But I do think as an officer, while you're on the job, we should be able to observe you and make sure that you're doing your job correctly. And this would just be a way to do that. And since officers operate within the public sphere, or when they go into a private area, they supposedly have acquired a warrant to make it so they're allowed to, anything that would be taped would either be used specifically citable for evidence, or would be taping people in the public sphere. And when you do that in the public sphere, that's fine. So this wouldn't conflict with any privacy issues, and whenever they're offbeat, they can turn off their camera. I suppose when they go off duty, they could just take it off. For example, if they want to like go have a donut and coffee, that's not stereotyping them at all. But yeah, they should be able to take it off and then have their donut and coffee in peace. But whenever they are on duty, patrolling, or at any situation, they should be constantly having their entire conduct videotaped, and that tape should be available to anyone who's involved with any incident with that officer upon request.